Today we're going to be talking about DNA fingerprint analysis in regards to Breaking Bad. So this is a little bit of a spoiler alert if if you haven't or have seen Breaking Bad. So hopefully this doesn't ruin your day. But just take this as a little bit of fun with some DNA analysis. So we have our victim, Gail Bodeshare, who was murdered in his own apartment. And this is our victim, by the way. We have our suspects, Walter White, Jesse Pinkman, Walter White Jr., and Gustavo Fring. So as the suspect was fleeing the apartment, there was some mucus left on the door, and we're going to do some DNA analysis of that mucus to figure out which victim or which suspect it belongs to, or if it could have belonged to the victim. So we'll look at this first locus. We have the evidence locus right here. And let's compare it first to the victim, Gail. And as you will see, he's missing two of the loci that are from the evidence. So he definitely does not belong to this evidence, DNA-wise. So secondly, we have Walter White. And Walter White, you will also see, does not connect to the loci. And Jesse Pinkman, here's the next one. He is the first one that we have that connects to both loci. He has two of matching loci. And then Walter White Jr., who I will mention is Walter White's son, and you'll see that in both locuses, you will see that he has at least 50% of the matching loci of Walter White. So in this case, he also does not have any matching with the evidence loci. So we can already assume that Walter Jr. and Walter White and Gail do not belong to this DNA. Because in forensic cases, in order for the perpetrator or victim to be matched with the DNA, they have to be matching at all loci. So next we'll look at Gustavo Fring. So Gustavo, he also, along with Jesse, matches at both loci. So for the most part, like I said, we're going to assume that these guys are out of the running for matching to the DNA. So this is the second part of the evidence locus. So first, we'll just check just in case. Of course, Gail still does not match. That doesn't always happen, but I know Walter White only matches at one of the loci. As you'll see, he still has 50% matching with Walt Jr. And then Jesse Pinkman still matches with both, so he's pretty likely the killer, but we'll continue looking just in case. And then Walt Jr. also matches with both loci, but we had cleared him up there because he would have to match at all loci. And then Gustavo also does not match at these loci. So we know in this case that Jesse Pinkman is the person to pull the trigger when Gail Bodeshare was shot in his apartment. I hope there wasn't too much of a spoiler, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.